Okay, well, Pat's Backyard Builder here. We're just surveying a new room here in the basement, our latest renovation project, and we're just kind of going over things and seeing what needs to be done and deciding what we're going to do with this room. This is intended to be a hobby room where I'm primarily going to be doing my model making and mold making for my casting that I like to do. And as well, I'm going to have a little spot for a train set in here. I like to do N-scale train modeling as well. Haven't been able to do that in years because I haven't really had a place for it. So this room was a storage room in the house, and we've had it filled with boxes since the day we moved in here. And I've negotiated with my wife to have this room set aside for myself, and we're going to bring it up to the standards that the rest of the house is featured with. So when we moved in, this room was bare, and absolutely nothing's been done to it since we moved into it, except a couple of things. I've opened up a couple of walls here for the renovation because it had that cheap paneling on it, and I intend to replace that with proper drywall. And as well, we are going to be insulating the floor like we did in the office. Anybody wants to see how I did that process, just look for my video series in the office there. It's called A Comfortable Floor. There's a couple of videos on the process that I use. Now, I was asked by one person why I chose to use hard styrofoam insulation and over or underneath a sheet of plywood and then pin it to the floor, and why I just didn't go out and get those 2x2 foot insulated squares. And the reason for that is actually rather simple. The Zamek pin is actually a lot more secure, because with the 2x2 squares that you fit together, yes, it does go in a lot faster, but it's also a floating type floor. So with that, like your floor tends to move a bit, and with the way I do it, with pinning it in place, the floor is absolutely solid. It's so solid you can even tile on it if you wanted to, which is something you can't do over those 2x2 foot panels. So now I've basically, as you can see, I've stripped the room, and I've done a bit of floor planning as well. This old socket here has been disconnected from the electrical circuit. It's coming out, as well as this one over here is coming out. Just haven't removed them yet. And this wire that you see hanging down over here, as well as this one over here, the white wire anyway, that's electrical. Now that's coming from my office, which is on the other side. That goes to some sockets there that I haven't got powered up yet. One thing you can do, if you do a little bit of floor planning when you're doing your renovations, you can do something like this. You can just run your wires to where you need them to be and splice them into the circuit later. And that's exactly what I've done here. My power actually comes into this room, and we're going to put a couple of different sockets all over the place and then splice into these wires here, and that's going to feed my office. And same thing with the phone lines here. I've got phone lines and a data line, and up above here I've got my internet line coming across here. It's kind of spooled up on the ceiling there, but it's going to splice into that black cable coming through the cement there. One thing I did do earlier on here, I've rerouted this wire here. It used to come across the ceiling into this socket over here and get its power, but I've put the socket upstairs onto a different circuit now. I just have to reroute the wire here, but I have to get my framing in place first. But I've got more than enough wire hanging there to go to the new circuit where it's going to tie in. I've just got it temporarily tied in so we don't go without power upstairs. We kind of need it up in that room. That's where we have the computers plugged in right now, but once I get my storage room here / hobby room back in order, then we can get the office into service for what it was intended for, and renovations can carry on. I guess we'll take them upstairs.